How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm really well. Aside from this cracking modern technology we're experiencing via Skype, I'm,
Yeah,
I'm really good. I've had a great day today. I've been at work, which is really awesome,
yeah,
and just having something to eat, drink some water. I'm talking to a fine young fan, as am I. So,
yeah.
how are you?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy to be on a Skype call with you for the video.
That's 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 no problem at all, man. Yeah, you done anything in particular today?
Not really, no. Just played a bit of the PlayStation and spoke to some wrestlers about doing some interviews.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
Anyone I might know?
yes, Mambo, Jack Sexsmith, Josh from Riptide, all sorts.
Well, I like Chuck Mambo.
Yeah.
Big love for Steve Jesus. A big love for us too as a town, and big love for Chuck Mann on his solo career. Jack Sexsmith, all the
Yeah.
best, and Josh Bevan, thank you for having me in your Royal Rumble at Riptide.
So, first question, what got you into wrestling?
Got me into wrestling. When I was a young kid, my brother watched professional wrestling through a family friend, and he shared a lot of tapes, like the Royal Rumbles and the WrestleManias and the Survivor Series. So basically, just a love of wrestling. It was just there because an elder brother of mine, he watched it,
Yeah.
and it filtered down to me. And yeah, just WrestleMania 9 was the first WrestleMania that I saw in the time scale. But I'd seen WrestleManias before that, like WrestleMania 5, Survivor Series 88, 89, SummerSlams, etc. So yeah,
So, who was your favorite wrestler back then?
Hulk Hogan.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Like there was a few, but if there's one that stands out, it's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
In my early years, I particularly remember Hulk Hogan and Earthquake in a rivalry, and Earthquake squashed him with the big quake drop, whatever he called it, the natural disaster or whatever. And I remember actually feeling really sad because I thought Hogan broke his ribs and he may never wrestle again. So yeah,
Yeah.
Hogan.
Oh, cool. What year was that?
If we go from, say, around WrestleMania 9, which would have been, if we're at 36, I think now,
Yeah.
you're looking at near enough 28 years ago, give or take. So I'm 31. So at 3 or 4, I would have been like wrestling. 3, 4, 5.
Oh, wow. What made you want to become a wrestler?
To be honest with you, Carl, there's nothing else I really wanted to do with my life. In school and stuff, I was always quite a comedian. I always like to make people laugh. I always kind of stand in that aspect. And there's nothing else that really kind of enticed me to do anything else. I just always loved the sport of kings, that is professional wrestling. And yeah, just because I wanted to be somebody who I wasn't, basically. I wanted to be someone larger than life that people could want to be. I guess I'm saying that now from my interpretation of how I look at it, but then it was just something because you larger than life characters like Hogan's, the Macho Man's, the Ultimate Warriors, even the villains like Earthquake Typhoon, Warlord, Ted DiBiase, IRS, all those great guys. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think as they call it the golden era, I truly believe that it is and was. So yeah.
Yeah. So, what age was you when you started wrestling? Well, started training.
Well, that's a good question because I can answer both of those. One, I used to wrestle, and I mean, who didn't wrestle in their back gardens and front gardens, and not backyard wrestling as such, but like we'd make cardboard belts and wrestle each other. We've even put on a show called Halloween Havoc, and I remember I was doing it on an old PC, and I spelled Halloween wrong, and yeah, so like I mean that would have been like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, messing around. And sharpshooters and Boston Crab. I remember actually beating one of my friends with a hammerlock for shooter.
Oh.
This is before we even understood the fundamentals. But as I was 17 going on 18 at the Yale Wrestling Academy in Edmonton, where it's in the same place as the Hustle Wrestling gym is at the moment. And Yes, because I really enjoy training at Hustle because it brings me back to when I first started. It humbles me. So to train with train there, but yeah, so I can tell you the date exactly because it was Royal Rumble 2007, and I remember I
Okay.
went there. Everyone knew Undertaker was winning the Rumble, and I went there with my Undertaker T-shirt, and I felt like I was the coolest person in the world. Like, oh, training to become a wrestler, and I've got an Undertaker shirt, so I must be cool, like, you know. So yeah,
Yeah. Does mental health ever get in the way of wrestling?
that's a very good question, and it's a question that you kind of just uh, threw out there, and I appreciate that. No disrespect taken or felt. So absolutely, Carl, and it's a very very serious topic in it of itself in the world, but especially in
Yeah.
professional wrestling, like you've got to realize. Especially when you were performing for great companies like the Progresses, the Over the Top Wrestling in Ireland, Rev Pro, or even on a smaller independent level. Like and that's not to anyone that I've worked for, like Clash, Good Wrestling, or Hope, or any of those great promotions I worked for. There's always this expectation that you put upon yourself, like, and
Yeah.
especially more so when you're looking for progress and you're coming out of like the training facility that was excellent through them. There's a great deal of stress that you put upon yourself because you're worried that you're gonna, if you don't meet a certain expectation that you think is expected, which it isn't, and you don't meet that, you know, you might think, oh, this will be the last match if I don't perform to a level which I think is expected. Or you expect there's no expectation because we perform for the fans, not the company. The company bring us in and entertain guys like you and myself if I was watching the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a great deal of emphasis on a person's mental health, and not a lot of people talk about it in the backstage environment. Or anything,
Mm.
like everyone gets nervous because if you don't get nervous, like Stone Cold Steve Austin would get nervous, Pretty Hitman Hart would get nervous before a match, and
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah, you can really beat yourself up if you do something that goes wrong. For instance, me knocking out Sebastian at Progress Wrestling's biggest show to that day, Chapter 36,
Yeah.
which I was the champion who first announced it. I know I was the first person to be announced for the card, which was an incredible honor. And
Yeah.
then to have that gift and literally knock my opponent out, and it wasn't intended, but I was furious with Sebastian for what he had done in the professional wrestling aspect
Yeah.
because he had cost me the belt. So I had Marty's skull sewn up. I beat him with the line. He had to roll out to get away, and then Sebastian, with his infinite wisdom, who he fought, gets involved. So
Yeah.
that was a very, as much as Sebastian got hurt in that, and I was genuinely concerned. I myself faced a backlash from that. So whilst people might say, oh, he's a dangerous performer in the ring, which in case, yeah, sure, if you want to think I'm dangerous, yeah, okay, that's fine, that's up to you, that's your interpretation. But you can always speak to me. You intend to win a match unless, right, you don't go out to hurt anyone, but your intention is to win the match. And if you've been wronged, you want to put
Yeah.
a wrong right. So it has had an effect, and it did have an effect. Like one of those, and this is one that isn't really common knowledge. I was a champion in Cork City for a Celtic Championship Wrestling, which is now no longer, but you got female wrestling in Cork City. A fairly regular import, if you. I'd say it was more of a home promotion.
Yeah.
And I once performed against Joseph Connors, and this was about 3 weeks out of the Brixton incident. And I had knocked for a
Yeah.
powerbomb, and I didn't have full control. I knew it, but at the same time, I thought maybe I'll be able to place him down for the finish, which was a powerbomb. And because I didn't have full control, I brought him right down, and I got the win, which was the intention, but I didn't intend to hurt him. And he was singer off the back of that, and I went to hospital with him. Although he's my opponent, he's
Yeah.
also my friend. So
Yeah.
I went to hospital with him, and this was 3 weeks after the Sebastian thing. So that had a tremendous effect on my mental health and my physical condition because now I'm worried that I might do it. If I've done it twice in such a close proximity, well, I might do it again. And then other people within the
Yeah.
industry might start thinking X, Y, and Z, and that's fine, that's okay. But if they don't truly know, like, but then if they don't come and talk to me, I can't rectify that and kind of reassure them that, like, all right, twice it happened, but they're never intentions. And we train all the time at facilities, and we hone that. So, like, I wanna put my opponent down. I want to put them down and stun them, not incapacitate them. So
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, I know I'm talking a lot here, but like you asked the question, and one of the biggest
Yeah,
blows
that's
I had in
fine.
professional. Oh, thank you. And one of the
Okay.
biggest blows I had was never getting a tryout for the World Wrestling Entertainment. So, and that was always a goal of mine. It's no longer a goal because I don't really see it as something I would like to do going forward. So, and not
Yeah.
getting that with my friends and colleagues who attended very, very prestigious, one of the last ones at Glasgow before NXT and the brand, NXT UK and the brand came along, the UK brand. And
Yeah.
even my half was there, and yeah, I wasn't. So I always felt that was slightly unfair. But at the same time, I
Yeah.
understand completely, and that put me, to be honest with you, Carl, that put me on a downward spiral for up to 4 years, where I was so low in
Yeah.
myself. A lot of people wouldn't have understood it because I still maintained my good outlook on life, but inside I was well, and it's one of those things I didn't acknowledge it until a great deal of time later, which I'm very, very much well now, and I know this. So yeah, I mean, to your original question in terms of does mental health have an effect on professional wrestling? Yes, a great deal, and that's why we lose a lot of great brothers and sisters to this game.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So, who would you like to face in the future?
David Starr.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan anymore, to be honest, but of him. But yeah.
Like I'm sad to hear that for David Starr, but like in a wrestling perspective, I agree. But
Yeah.
like there's no denying that David Starr has all the credentials of a good wrestler fundamentally.
Oh no, most
But
definitely. Yeah.
personally, I don't agree with his morals on the game. So
No.
that's why my promo to him was I want to face him, and I'm gonna dethrone him as the over the top wrestling champion. And if he wants, I know Progress Wrestling can still use him. So if he returns to wrestling, I'm not saying he's retired or anything, but I mean,
No.
and nor have I. So like, I mean, I had ups and downs during a very turbulent time in my life. So David Starr is absolutely one of the number one people I want to face because I've never wrestled David Starr, tagged alongside him at Progress, and which was a real enjoyable time. But yeah, like just had an Instagram message there, and I've a kind of respect of him as an in-ring performer, but as a person who stand before me across the ring, I have no respect for David Starr, and I would
Mm.
wrestle him best of my ability against the best of his, with no liberties taken. And yeah, I will best him 1, 2, 3. As I said, I would best Cara Noir on my best day and his best. And
Yeah.
David Starr, absolutely. He's definitely someone who I respect as a performer. Inside the ring, I have no respect for David Starr.